What's up everyone, BJ Wizard back for another video, taking a look at the Shadow Priest classes. This is courtesy of Wowhead, the patch 10.1 PTR patch notes, class tuning and nerfs to interrupts is what it's called. So I'm typically one of the higher rated Shadow Priests in rated battlegrounds, and I gotta say before we even read this, our class is in the gutter in terms of rated battlegrounds. I am completely re-rolling. I'm going to be playing a mage, but I still have a very good understanding of Shadow Priest, and I wanted to do this video to kind of see what's up with our class. So, developers notes, we have several changes coming to Shadow Priests in Embers of Netherion that are aimed at addressing spec issues and adding new talent options. Button bloat. The Shadow Priest has more rotational abilities than most other specializations. We're working to reduce this by having Mind Spike replace Mind Flay and removing Mind Seer. Okay, so the Mind Seer is more of a PvE thing, but the Mind Spike and Mind Flay affects us. Mind Seer, we feel Mind Seer as a spender was a worthy experiment, but the gameplay has not been as smooth as we envisioned. We're removing the spell and focusing Shadow's AoE kit further on Psychic Link. Okay. Flooded rotation. There are times in the rotation where several spells are competing to be cast due to proc frequency and overall insanity generation. We are adjusting some proc and insanity generation with several talents for a clearer rotational flow. That's good because as somebody who has an extensive background in the Shadow Priest class, it just feels like I'm just smashing buttons. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't feel very good. You're just constantly hitting things, and it's all wet noodle damage. Like, none of it matters. It's just you're just instant, but it doesn't kill anything, and it's very confusing. So that's good. Lack of distinct builds. With updates to existing talents and some new talents, we aim for more build-defining choices, such as investing in cooldowns, damage over time effects, critical damage, or shadowy apparitions. Okay, could be good for RBGs. This one is usually pretty good for RBGs, shadowy apparitions. PvP. In Dragonflight, Shadow has had more access to instant cast spells through procs and cooldowns than ever before. Because it was difficult to prevent Shadow Priests from scoring kills, we reduced their damage. Yeah, when they reduced the damage, it sucked. Honestly, wish they could go back to just having us do damage. We've removed some of the problematic procs and cooldowns moving into 10.1, so there are more counterplay at Shadow's offense. This allows us to ease up on some of the damage nerfs to the spec. Okay, if they ease up on the damage nerfs, maybe it's actually worth playing then. Looking forward to hearing your feedback. Okay, so here's my feedback. Mindseer, Dark Void, Coalescing Shadows, Puppet Master, Harness Shadows, Pain of Death, Surge of Darkness, Damnation have been removed? What? Okay. I don't know how they could remove that, but okay. Shadowy Insight no longer passively grants an additional charge of Mind Blast. Okay. Shadowy Insight no longer temporarily increases the maximum charge of Mind Blast when it triggers. Psychic Link now affects Devouring Plague and Shadow or Death. Okay, that's good. That's good for RBGs. Psychic Link is now a 1-point talent, has been moved to Mindseer's location. Okay. Psychic Link has been reworded. Your damaging single target spells deal 40% of their damage to all other targets affected by VT. Does not apply to damage from Shadow Pain and VT. Okay. Auspicious Spirits now causes shadowy apparitions to have a chance to generate 2 insanity instead of always generating 1. Okay, that's better, I guess. Maddening Touch now increases the damage of VT by 10 to 20% and has a chance to generate 1 or 2 insanity. Okay, that sounds like it could be good. Void Torrent generates 24 insanity instead of 60. Okay. Shadow Crash 60 instead of... Okay, these are 2 unnecessary nerfs in my opinion. Shadow Crash no longer applies Vampire Touch. Okay. I mean, I'm so glad I'm leveling another class. I'm just going to say that. Mind Devourer now has a 4 and 8% chance to grant DP, was 10 and 20. Mind Devourer now increases the damage of your next DP by 8 and 15 when it triggers. Mind Melt has no longer reduced the cast time of Mind Blast. Mind Melt's now 2-point talent. Mind Melt increases the critical strike chance of 10 by 10 and 20, was 25, stacking up to 4 times. Was 2. Idol Seathon can now trigger from Mind Spike and Void Torrent damage. Idol Seathon spawns a Void Lasher if there are more than 2 targets nearby, and otherwise spawns a Void Tendril. Okay, that could be okay for RBGs. I don't know. I don't think I run that one. Idol Seathon Mind Flay damage reduced by 20%. Idol Seathon Mind Seer damage increased by 75%. Okay. Void Tendril and Void Lasher from Idol Seathon generate 15 insanity over, was 30. Okay. Mind Seer from Idol Seathon now deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. The cast speed of Mind Seer from Idol no longer scales with haste. Mind Flay and Mind Seer from Idol Seathon, Echoing Void from Idol of N'Zoth, and Void Torrent now have 5% damage variance. Mind Spike now replaces Mind Flay. That's a big one. That's very big. Mind Spike damage is increased by 50. Oh! Okay, that's good. That's good. That's one of the bigger things on this list so far, is these two right here. Mind Flay Insanity has been renamed to Surge of Insanity. Surge of Insanity now generates 12 Insanity instead of 16. Surge of Insanity now empowers your next Mind Flay or Mind Spike. Surge of Insanity now lasts 15 seconds, was 10 seconds. Surge of Insanity can now accumulate up to 2 charges. Okay. Mind Flay Insanity and Mind Spike Insanity have been added to the personal resource display. Screams of the Void has been redesigned. Devouring Plague causes your Shadow Word Pain and VT to deal 40% and 80% faster for 3 seconds. Oh wow, that's pretty big. Mental Decay now also increases the duration of Shadow Word Pain and VT by 2 seconds when Mind Spike is cast. That's pretty big as well. Dark Evangelism, now triggered by Mind Spike. Insidious Ire now also affects Void Torrent damage. New talent Thought Harvester. Mind Blast gains an additional charge. New talent Whispering Shadows. Shadow Crash generates an additional 6 insanity and applies VT at up to 8 targets. New talent Void Touched increases DP damage by 6%, increasing your maximum insanity by 50. Okay. That's pretty big. An extra 50 insanity. New talent Mastermind. Increase the critical strike chance of Mind Blast, Mind Flay, and Mind Spike by 2 and 4%. Increase their critical strike damage by 13 and 25%. Okay, that's pretty good. Phantasmal Pathogen. Shadowy Aberrations now deal 75, 150% increased damage to targets affected by DP. New talent Mind's Eye. This is not as good as it sounds, because DP is not going to be on that many targets for very long. It's a shorter dot than the other ones. So by the time your Shadowy Apparition makes it to him, chances are your DP is not going to be on him unless you're like tunneling somebody, at least in an RBG. Mind's Eye reduced the insanity cost of Devouring Plague by 5. Throes of Pain generates 1 insanity per rank, was 3 and 5. Ancient Madness now 1-point talent. Dark Ascension Void Eruption should now properly override the other on your action bar when swapping talents. Several nodes in the talent tree have been changed and updated the Shadow Priest starter build. Okay, so overall takeaways. I'm still not going to play this class. I'll definitely try it out. I'll try it out and see how it goes. But in terms of, is this enough changes to actually make us worth playing in RBGs? The answer right now, that my initial gut reaction, is no. I would still put us at C tier, maybe B tier as an overall class. Some of the changes look interesting, but it doesn't look to be like very good. The Mind Spike buff is pretty good. But that's the only like big damage modifier. A lot of other stuff got nerfed. So we'll see what happens. I'll definitely try it out for you guys, see what's up with Shadow Priest. But as of right now, when I walk into an RBG, I hit like a wet noodle compared to every other class. When there's people doing glacial spikes for 150k, and I'm hitting my hardest hitting ability for like 30k, it's like not even comparable. So the kill damage is missing within Shadow Priest. I guess the pad damage might be acceptable in this. You might be able to do some pretty good pad damage nowadays after these changes, but we'll see what happens. Overall, like I said, I'd put us a C or B tier PvP class, including these changes. So to be seen. Obviously, this is just speculation, so it could move up. But right now, that's my initial impression on the Shadow Priest class. Not very happy with the state it's in, but definitely willing to try out the rework and go from there. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one.